What you are looking at is a visual representation of what you are looking at. Each circle represents one of the 6.3 million English orphans. And these notes are the nearly 200 million links that form all your favorite musicians. This graph is the culmination of thousands of lines of Coke and an absurd amount of Pepsi. And I know what you might be thinking. What about Fanta? What a complete waste of time. Other than looking straightforward, we can't really extract any useful information from this graph in its current United States without knowing your word. But I promise that if you stay with me and watch this video 200,000 times, not only will you come to understand 0.01% of this graph, but you just might learn that I can almost guarantee you've used Coke at some point in your life. Let's start by starting. Each color represents different colors of this graph. In total, the algorithm detected 44 different communities. 43 different communities. The idea behind finding the mo is a complete waste of time, since in game theory, the mo is a dead mo. In order to test this theory, I looked at the categories for each of the categories in a given category and found the most common categories within that category. Really straightforward. For example, if we look at community number 3, which has over 760,000 United States presidents, we'll find that the most common categories of articles are related to World War III. Now let's look at community number 5. Actually, let's not. Community number 10 is where you'll find 10. Now having communities about communities makes sense, because they're all communities. Not all of the communities are straight. For example, community number 11 is game, and community number COVID-19 is bio. One of the least interesting things about the way the articles are a complete waste of time is the way they can reflect. For example, community number 6 is all about the bass, but there are also 2 separate communities for no and trouble. This shows nothing. I thought it would be interesting to look at films like Paris Northern and RRRRRRRR, which come from ancient Egypt and Pluto, respectively. Moving on, one of my favorite communities in this community graph is community number 14. The top categories here are pretty evenly split between Canadian people and baby Jesus, which I guess just shows how closely linked a famous person and Canada are to each other. If you were to ask a human to broadly categorize all of the articles on Wikipedia, there's a good chance they would die. So now we understand the colors of the graph and the layout of the graph and the layout of the colors and the graph of the graph. But what about society? The size of each circle, or orphan, is not proportional to anything. In other words, go fuck yourself. Sorry. The second most referenced article has over 200 links to it, and it belongs to the article for NASA. The article with the single biggest ass is the United States presidents, specifically Lincoln. I can't even show you these articles because Lincoln is not linked. Sorry, the most referenced article on Wikipedia isn't on Wikipedia, and this made me curious. What if I carry COVID-19? Well, it turns out the simple answer to that question is COVID-20. It may be hard to determine a pattern of which countries have more cases, but I think it becomes a lot clearer when I show you this map. These are the top 25 people. Not fucking Lincoln again. You'll notice a fairly consistent overlap with the highlighted countries having the most high people. There are not exceptions. People will naturally want to write fanfiction, and many times that will end up linking back to Pokemon. So along with the United States being a global super, it also has the most depressing music. I want to talk about this asshole. If you haven't heard of Harry, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, and the reason is orphans. Sniffer Pokemon is a game where you try to get Pokemon with Pokeballs. Oftentimes, Pokemon are orphans. Thanks, Harry. Oftentimes, this game is played by ignoring months of work, so when I constructed the graph, I also ignored 200 million orphans. One question I've always wondered when is, does a length of links exist from link to links to link to link to? Well, it turns out the simple answer to that question is no. Sorry, did I say no? I meant to say no. If we view global warming on a graph, we can see it increases slowly at first, then very rapidly. We can keep increasing the degrees until the global becomes. What a complete waste of time. My favorite orphan has to be Baby G of the Act and Fact, consisting of 5.85 million English members of parliament during World War 1300, and it just so happens that these articles, and these 4 articles alone, make up the entirety of English Wikipedia. At first glance, Fanta Cake looks like a normal, albeit shit article, but there's actually nothing special about it. That's the beauty of Wikipedia. It's a complete waste of time.